Gambit Chads, I am so excited to show you this game where I just beat an international master, a strong one too, with the one and only brand new Goring Gambit. Now this was an absolute wild roller coaster of a game, up and down, but typically when you hear that, that means we didn't play that well, but we actually did play quite well considering the circumstances. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And I'm actually not very proud of the way that I won this game, but you can be the judge of that for yourself at the end. But let's waste no more time. This is against I am Certifixer right here. And as you see here 2 days ago. And so let's waste no more time. The one and only Goring Gambit. So it is here in the Scotch. After takes, instead of just recapturing knight takes d4 or playing the natural Scotch Gambit, we play c3. And what the Goring Gambit really is a better version of the Danish Gambit. I just recorded a video just recently. It's my most recent theory video of how to crush with the Goring Gambit of playing here bishop to c4, offering yet another pawn. And you see my opponent's next move is a mistake. The engine does recommend c takes b2 here for black, but the thing is the Danish Gambit is actually this position. And this is going to be an even better version because black does not have the same quick bailouts of like d5, knight f6, bishop to b4 check. All this quick stuff that black can do in the Danish Gambit to avoid some of the most dangerous lines for white. So anyway, that's all covered in my other video. This will be getting to the game, and actually at the end of this, you'll see an original Twitch stream where it was actually from just today, where I just blew my opponent completely off the board in this line. So this will be another example. Black has a lot of options here, and I've covered a lot of them, and because they don't have to play c takes b2, they can just be up one pawn instead of two. My opponent here did not play a good one. Did not play knight f6 because of fearing this e5 strike, as they should, where this knight just no longer has good squares to go to. So my opponent first decided to develop bishop e7. Only that's a question mark, and I thought my opponent would just be resigning on the spot here. Would just be resigning on the spot. You can pause the video and see what I played in this position. This is a 3-0 blitz game, by the way. But I just played this move, queen d5. And queen doesn't usually go here. Queen would go to like b3 if it wanted to snipe f7. But this was an exception because there's just no way to guard f7 right now. Bishop e7 blocks the queen's route to either f6 or e7. And this is going to be mate. And my opponent plays knight h6. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, I got that covered. I just take that knight. And I'm just trying to take f7 next turn. Typically, yeah, so the ideas are like if like d6, you can play here queen b3 to hit f7. So to draw your opponent's queen out. That's a good idea in a lot of lines, but bishop e7 was just a mistake, and we took advantage of it correctly with queen d5. Only the game is not over. The game is not over. My opponent plays knight h6. All right, so they gather themselves here after takes, now castle. So now they've got the rook defending f7. And so now I'm like, okay, whatever. I just come back to not, because I like, you see I got a question mark there, but it's better than coming back here because then takes b2. I don't have a bishop here anymore. So that's a problem. That's a problem. The engine says bishop c1 is a mistake because they're just like, just take it. So the bishop guards b2 that way. And then after takes, just take here. And then your position is just beautiful. The position is just beautiful. So the material is actually completely equal, even in terms of pawns. But okay, their king's totally open. Our development's great. We're just going to castle. We're just going to checkmate the king. Or you can castle probably either direction here. So great position for white. But I'm just like, okay, bishop c1, I'm just up a piece. Whatever. I didn't think... And if I just won this game just because I was just up a piece off of that little trick, this wouldn't be YouTube worthy. But that is not what happened here because bishop c1, I missed black's resource of now going knight b4. Whose king is unsafe now? They managed to castle, and my king's here, and my queen is hit that I've brought out, and knight c2 is a problem, right? So I could play the safe here with like queen d1, but then c2. c2 is the problem, and I'm forked, and then so like this happens, right? And now black's up a pawn. I guess I have some compensation here, but black's totally fine, right? So I didn't want to play like this. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I went into this trying to sacrifice. So we're sacrificing here. Queen h5. We allow knight c2 happening. So this is both of us actually playing accurately. The engine approves of queen h5. So knight c2, king up, and then they take my rook. And then I grab c3. Okay. What do we make of this? What happened? So in terms of pawns, I'm still down one, and I'm down in exchange. I got a piece for the rook, but this knight is, I don't know, needs to escape, and my opponent otherwise, other than this knight, has no development. What a weird kind of position. The engine's saying, by the way, minus 0.5. Minus 0.5 for black, but it's hard to recommend a move. If you play here, for example, knight c2, trying to get your knight out, try to not just lose that knight, I could play here like h4 is what I was thinking, and after like d6, then just knight g5, and this is kind of some Stafford ideas where we hit h7 and f7 and end the game. So the h4 pawn supporting this. This is now not possible for black. h7 is just hanging. So knight g5 threatening checkmate here, and then threatening also take on f7. So black has all sorts of problems due to my excellent development advantage. In the game, my opponent plays b5. b5 is very interesting because so the idea is like takes and then you're gonna like develop really quickly because they're already up a lot of material, but they're down so much development, right? And they distract my bishop from some more dangerous posts. However, in bishop d5, you just chase me away with c6, and then I don't want to come back here because that's a very good trade for black. But however, I just come back right there to d3, and I take away knight c2, and not only that, so my opponent plays c6. I don't know if they're trying to defend b5, preparing d5, but this gives me the opportunity e5. So I reroute to this diagonal, and things are very strong. If h6, I take h6, and not only am I going to win the knight, but I'm also probably going to win the king, as my queen's going to get there. So this is a very good idea if you control both these diagonals. That h6 is not possible. So my opponent had to play g6, my queen steps up. And now very dangerous threats here, because so my opponent plays d5, and I'm feeling very good at this point because I have here knight g5, threatening mate. They take it, bishop takes, and now if the queen moves, my bishop is just zigzagging in there, and I'm going to win the game like this. And again, if I won the game this simply, also probably wouldn't have been a YouTube video. But the twists never end. The twists never end. My opponent plays here f6, and this is like plus 2.6. If I just take f6, and my opponent really like has to take back because of I got mate threat, I got here threatening check and take the queen. So my opponent really has to take back, and then I just take even more stuff, and then I just take even more stuff, and then here I'm just up a piece. However, I want to finish this in style, and I like bishop takes g6. Bishop takes g6 here. Now if you take me, I'm going to go... So wait, bishop takes g6. Well, you can't take this one because I'm taking there. So you see the double question mark. But it's not obvious. It's not obvious. You can try and think of what black should play, because taking this bishop is also bad, because now I'm going to take f6. I'm threatening mate. I'm threatening to take this. I'm threatening to push. Like this is overwhelming. This is overwhelming on the king. However, the issue is my king. My king is also a problem. So my opponent plays here queen e7. A great find. So they pin me this way. They're threatening to like take e5. They're threatening to also take my bishop, and they defend along the 7th rank. So this queen's doing so many good things. So thankfully, I pull something here out of the bag where I take f6. Looks like I'm losing even more. But then I take h7, and then I grab that rook. So, but this is just a absolutely wild position. There was nothing really that good to do. I could retreat with this bishop to at least shield my king. But then I guess they take here, and queen g7. And then we'd probably trade queens maybe. I grabbed, or we'd swap here. And then I'd grab this. Or some crazy endgame like this, where I guess I got some pawns, but I'm down in exchange. So something interesting, some more wild stuff going on. I played here, bishop takes f6 and take h7. And then I grab the rook here. And so this is a very interesting position, where I guess my opponent meant to play queen c2 check. Meant to play queen c2 check, or at least save the knight, after which they'd be up a piece, but okay, I've got some pawns for it. And this king is very open. I feel like I'd have some checks. I feel like I'd have some checks, or I'd try to get like my rook in there or something. In the game, though, in a very anticlimactic ending, my opponent plays queen d3. Clearly a mouse slip for queen c2, I guess. And I take d3 and my opponent resigns. So that was the anticlimactic ending that I'm not very proud of. But I do have a better win in the Goring Gambit, which I really love so much, and I think it's playable at every level, in the Twitch stream right after this. An absolutely crushing win. That's probably a much better example of how to win a chess game. All right. Thank you so much, Gambit Chads, and I will see you next time. Here's me from just earlier today. All right. Keep rising. We're going to win this arena, guys. We're going to win this arena. We got another Goring Gambit on the board. Oh, we got an acceptance. We got an acceptance. Can we get it? Very Danishy. Okay, d6. I can play here queen b3. Let's here play castles and see what's going on. All right, h6 taking away knight g5. All right, time for queen b3, I think, at this point. All right, we're hitting f7, and so the queen's got to do something awkward to defend. And that's where the fun begins. King is going to be very far from castling. We're really going to attack this. There. All right. Well, I don't have bishop g5, h6, but knight d5 looks very enticing. Got a lot of targets. That does not appear to help you. The knight just has to go back because the king's still in the middle. All right. Well, we've got like e5. We got like knight d5 just forces queen d8. Got some good stuff here. I'll just go rook e1 for now while I think about ideas like that and just tearing open this king. Very far from castling. Opponent's got like no development right now. Opponent trying to escape this way, but knight d5 will force the queen right back there to defend c7. All right, let's step away with the queen. Maybe. Okay, yeah, let's just step away. All right, e5 is now very on the table. e5. All right, tearing this open. Tearing it open. That file right onto the king. Here we go with our attack. I'd love to also complete our development completely, but I don't want to give them time. So I think maybe queen d2 was a waste of time. I think maybe I could have just gone e5. But I'm not sure. This is still very, very strong. The e file is gonna be quite effective. Let's queen up. We can go anywhere here, really. Actually, what if... No, okay. I had some designs on some stupid tactic. Okay, wait, now... It's less stupid. I don't know why I wasted so much time there. But this is still very strong. I got hits everywhere. But my idea basically was to take f7 somehow. Alright, hitting the queen there, and then this knight's gonna fall. King d1, rook e1 check. I got 11 seconds though, that's not a lot. We'll see what we can do. Oh, shit. This rook e1 is my next move. Got this, we've got this. This is an overwhelming attack here. Still. Imagine bishop e7, I'll just go h3 even. Oh. Oh, knight e4, he got me on that pre-move. The rook was defending that, obviously, but this is still good, even down a queen. Yeah, this is just a pre-move. Rook f1 check. Look at my bishops, look at my rooks. Yeah, we got him. Look at those bishops were killer. Those bishops were killer. All right, well, we got him. I mean, this was just a completely overwhelming attack. The delayed Danish Gambit. The delayed Danish Gambit is just too good. There's no easy outs for black like in the regular Danish Gambit. We're on top.